Hey, this is Glendon, and this is a trip. Title of this video, garage sales, eBay, and you selling used stuff may be illegal in the future. Just to jump into it really quick. There was this student, his name I can't pronounce, but he's from Thailand. Came to the United States in 1997 and thought that, whoa, textbooks are too expensive. So he had his folks from the mainland send him some books. I ain't mad at him, saving those ducats. But the problem is, as he went through the educational system, apparently he graduated and he moved on, he became a advocate of arbitrage. Arbitrage is if you find something at one place that's cheaper, then you know that you can sell an item on another marketplace for a more expensive price. In the middle is your profit. That's what he was doing. The problem is apparently his arbitrage was a little bit large because Wiley and Sons went after him. And I'm a publisher. The deal is if a book that is made for another country and you buy it and bring it over, and some of these books will have it, not authorized for sale outside of this country. So he did something wrong. Okay, let's just be straight up about it. He did something wrong and he's got some fancy lawyering. But the problem is this has opened up a Pandora's box because this case has happened before. Omega sued Costco over the same thing in 2010. And the justices sided with Omega, just like the justices have decided with Wiley. What's different with this one is the internet, and everybody's on it. eBay sent a friend of the court letter because for some reason this case has gotten a lot more attention than the Omega Costco case. And the reason is this guy, the one who started this shit, is like, hey, my rights are being violated. They're looking for, he did something wrong. Okay, no doubt about it. What he did was illegal. But the problem is he's fighting so hard, twisting the law, got his lawyers because, first doctrine sale, this. I get this question all the time. Hey, Glendon, where can I get your books? Strange, I know. But you can get Storage Auctions 101 on Kindle. You can also get the new Storage Auction Buyer's Handbook also on Kindle and my blog. And the oldest, well, not exactly the oldest, but Making Money A to Z, you can get that on Amazon or my blog. And the best of the best, the 48 Hours of Storage Auction Success, you can only get from my blog. For those of you who don't give a damn about storage auctions, you can get Pimpin' Craigslist for Fun and Profit or the Ultimate Garage Sale. And if you don't like that, hey, I got you. You can get The Porn Is Always in the DVD Player. That's my life as a storage auction buyer. And for those who want to experience the mental side of success, check out the Hustler Mindset Project on my blog. Now to the video. These multinationals, they're making stuff overseas and they're selling it in the United States. Why can't I? The reason you couldn't do it was you bought those books expressly for resale. It's not like you bought them and used them, then sold them. You bought them strictly for resale. There is a wide variance on how much money he made. One report was 37,000. Another report was 900,000. The numbers are all over the place. And the thing is, I think they're going to be inaccurate because he's not going to put out that he made 1.2 million because that seriously hurts his case. That goes from, hey, I was just a student trying to make a few extra dollars to he was running a full-fledged enterprise that was based in an illegal method. So of course he's not going to put out the real numbers, but the numbers don't matter because number one, he had to be doing significant scale for Wiley to come after him. If he sold 100 books over 6-7 years, they wouldn't have came after him. It wouldn't have been worth their while. They would have spent more money trying to shut him down than they were losing. They wouldn't have came after him. So the fact that they came after him means he had pretty significant scale. Enough to warrant their attention, enough for them to hire an attorney and go after his ass, and they won. And the problem is he was hit with damages of $600,000. And these are the books they know about because I'm quite sure, with him being a smart guy, he is a smart guy. He's probably sold in other channels, but the whole thing is he doesn't want to be liable for that $600,000. He doesn't want to pay it. Now let's look at this. This has been going on since 2008. This is his fourth year. The first lawsuit was filed in 2008. he spent a lot of money. He's getting money from somewhere. The fact that he can fight this so vigorously and get the best attorneys makes me think that Wiley was onto something, because he's got the cheddar. He's been in school for a long time, but he's got all this money. Remember, why did he buy these textbooks? Because he didn't have the money. He couldn't afford it. Now all of a sudden he can get the best lawyers in the land to take this to the Supreme Court? Yeah, he's guilty. But that's just small potatoes, because this is the danger. And I spent 3 hours on this because there's so much information. You Google a case, there's this, there's people in chat boards, the chat rooms, there's all kinds of noise. But the big threat, let's forget about him, the dude that started this. And let's look at something called aftermath, the chaos theory effect. Essentially, the ripples. And the fact that eBay jumped in. And in one article that was said eBay would be impacted in Craigslist. Craigslist would not be impacted. Craigslist money would continue to go. Craigslist makes all of their money off real estate and job postings. That's where they make their money. Everything else is free. So they would still keep trucking. But eBay would take a serious hit. And the reason they would take a serious hit, if this law, and see, the thing is, the law's already there. What we don't have is enforcement and amendment to the law. And if this thing was to get out of hand, and there's a potential, I don't know which way it's going to go, and they expect the final decision to be 2013. That's when 2013, 2014, when they're going to render their final decision. So sell as much stuff as you can, because you've got a few years. But worst case scenario, this thing is upheld, then other manufacturer, because see, this is the thing, this is the danger. It wasn't this lawsuit, because Omega did the same thing to Costco, but Omega's a big company and Costco's a big company, and they weren't out there screaming. They were just duking it out in court, and only the attorneys and the people who cared to research that type of stuff knew about it. But this guy is a little bitch. He's like, no, you're taking my rights. I mean, dude, you did some shit wrong. Okay, you were wrong, and you got caught, and because you don't want to pay for what you did, the impact could affect millions. Tens of millions. Because understand the motivation. If this thing was to really get going, it's just more profit for larger companies. The backlash, I mean, honestly, in my heart of heart, I don't think it's going to happen, because the amount of ill will that would happen from the public to these large companies would be unprecedented. That's another reason I don't think it's going to happen. That's the reason Omega went after Costco, and they didn't put it out in the news, and they didn't go crazy with it, because it was just like, hey, you're selling our stuff at a discounted rate. We don't like it, and you shouldn't be doing it. Not mad at them. They handle it like companies. And Omega is a venerable brand. That's what the astronauts wore on the moon. That's what James Bond wore. That's a seriously iconic watch. So I can understand that they want to do everything they can to protect their brand. But let's just talk about aftermath, the craziness. If this thing was to gain speed, and I don't think it will, but it could. We live in America. Strangest shit has happened. If this thing was to gain speed, the used car industry would be decimated. What constitutes, and then it brings all these other questions. What constitutes made in another country? Because if you remember, when Japan had the tsunami and the earthquake, Toyota cars, certain cars, they couldn't make because the parts were made in Japan. So what constitutes imported? Because the innards of those cars came in there. A lot of cars have copyrighted navigation software. I mean, so many things. In America, I'm talking to America, the reason that we're here is because of greed and rabid, profit mongering. Because we have lost our way. This country used to be great because we made shit. And now, outsource, export, outsource, and it's killed our manufacturing base. And it's allowed us to be vulnerable to this type of stuff, because why shouldn't something made in another country be able to be sold here, whether it was first doctor or not? Why shouldn't it? Because essentially so many things that we have, the camera that I'm doing this, is made in Japan. Computer I have, I don't know where it was made, probably China. I mean, seriously, It's so many things that we have here were made somewhere else and imported here to the point you can't say that it's a rare thing. It's the common thing. It's actually rare to buy something that's actually made in the United States of America. You get something that's made in the United States, then that gets really interesting because it's a very few items. But this would be total chaos. Now, this is where you, the resale professionals, the folks who've been in the game for a minute, would make a lot of money. Understand, there's a secondary market, there's a third market, and there's a black market. That's going on right now. If this thing was to reach full speed, the secondary black would be crazy, would be nuts. I know what's on the black market and the secondary market, and it's in every city, it's in every state, probably even some small towns. That's how deep it is. So nothing's going to stop. Some people would start making more money. And can you imagine like those little clubs they used to have where people go do drugs and stuff and you have to do the secret knock and the secret sign? They'll have resale clubs like, yeah, man, he's good. Yeah, he can get these computers. It would be madness, but I don't think it's going to happen. But I don't have a crystal ball. It's just the madness that would happen. The madness. And understand, the way that this thing is set up right now, they're in favor of Wiley. That's kind of the thing that's scaring people because the impact is so far ranging that people would rather that this guy get away with something illegal than to impact it and everyone else. And it's really, really a mixed bag here because a lot of people in the resale market would be hurt. A few years ago, remember what happened with children's toys and stuff? Like a lot of people just, you couldn't resell certain toys. You don't see them anymore. And it's just like, it's just crazy. But how do you protect yourself against this? Number one, you're going to have to build a good customer base. Because I can tell you from experience, as long as it's like, this is most Americans' thoughts on illegal. Illegal, and illegal. Illegal, murder, drugs, crime, violence, rape. That's illegal. Everyone's like, hey, that's bad. You need to be put in jail or you need to have your dick sliced off. Everyone agrees on that. Now, illegal, speeding. Getting secondhand goods. People are like, I don't care about that. Downloading free content from the internet. Whatever. Not paying sales tax. Whatever. Yeah. Illegal. All day long, everybody's in that corner. But illegal, I don't know about it. And second-hand goods on the secondary, third market, the black market is illegal. And then people are like, it's just like speeding. Yeah, okay, you got me. That's how they're going to look at it. I'm telling you. Like when Storage Wars came on, I'll tell you, one of the producers not the producer, but the guy that would have had to greenlight the project, had some concerns that Americans there would be backlash because people are losing their stuff. I mean, just like there's treasure and wonderful things in storage units, there's a backstory, a very sad backstory. Someone lost their stuff. And he was just like, oh, people would not be unhappy. You can give it back. And essentially, he got fired because he was a dumbass. But the whole point is, people don't care. They don't care. They only care about, number one, that's me. What's in it for me, Blair? That's what they care about. So if you're worried about this, don't be. You've got time. Go ahead and build your business and learn to increase your streams of income. When I was in the secondhand business, I didn't have one stream of income. eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, warehouse, website. Bam. You know what I'm saying? And so you're vulnerable if you're just a flea market guy. You're vulnerable if you need to do it all. And even if you don't like it, even if you need to do it all. And because everything is changing so quick, you have to be actively involved. Because just in the last year, there's been big changes on eBay. Big changes coming. Like Amazon actually lends money to people now. If you were an Amazon seller with a store, you wouldn't even know about this. There's so many things that are good and bad to happen, but if you're not in the game, if you're not, out there on the field playing, taking those hits, You're not going to know. But, will it come to that? I hope not. But this is the thing. During the Costco case, it was a split decision. And one of the justices he recused himself. So, don't know how. And this guy, this time, he's not recused. He's going to be on the bench on this one. And more than likely, the four that they're going to vote the same way because it's the same type of case. But he's the new wrinkle. Don't know which way he's going to go. And essentially, if it goes for Wiley, which I think it will, because he did some wrong, he was wrong. It's just the aftermath is the tricky part, because this big thing could happen, or most people may just go, and it goes on. Because really, the generator for the madness would be the large companies. That's what would create the problem. They would just start doing lawsuits, and they would just start going after people, and they would go after eBay because eBay is the largest portal of secondhand goods. That's why eBay is like, whoa, 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 whoa. They gives a damn about the kid from Thailand. They don't care about that. They could lose billions if this thing comes to head and people start going after them, because, say, you're a seller. You go on eBay, you upload some stuff that's wrong. eBay can just shut you down. But this is the thing, this is how it works with copyright. Say someone puts some stuff up there and eBay shuts it down. But if the copyright holder gets a screenshot and can prove that it was there, I don't care if it was there for 30 seconds, that 30 seconds was enough for harm, and they can sue on that alone. Yep. Just because you remove it, just because you take it down, that does not remove the damage, and they can still come after your ass. And eBay knows this, and that's why they're like, whoa, this could be cataclysmic. This could be really, really rough. Whoo! But, that's the thing. Like I said, you can protect yourself, diverse streams of income, doing your thing, being out there, and staying abreast of things. Because, like I said, the Costco will make a case passed, and no one said boo. It didn't even make, it was just like, oh. But this one, because another reason is Wiley is huge. And I think if they went, they're going to go after other people. They're going to go after other people. And this could immediately, because what Amazon and eBay would do would squash CD sales, books. They would squash it immediately because they don't want the exposure. They would do it prophylactically, even if there's no law. They would just do it to protect themselves, because even if there's not a law, someone could just come after them because they're just targets. They're big targets that make a lot of cash, very public, so they know what would happen, even if the law. So that's going to be really interesting, real interesting. But those are my thoughts. Give me your thoughts, and I'm gonna put some links because there's a lot of stuff to go through, because you've got to read through so much. And then there's keyboard warriors that's like, no, it's not forced. It's not this. It actually is. Because they would have not been able to sue under the first sale doctrine if it was not first sale doctrine. And they sued and won. Wiley did. This is an appeal. And, they won the first one. They won the second one. Now it's been booted up to the Supreme Court on appeal. Understand, this is appeal. Wiley has already won. And the reason this is getting so much exposure is because this guy will not take his lumps, because he did it. He did it. How much money he made, I don't know, but he did it. He's guilty. He got caught. Player used his real name. Couldn't do it. He didn't know the game. Fake name, whatever. Oh, they're coming at me. I'm gone. They could have never sued him, but no. He's like, I'm entitled to cheat you out of money. I'm entitled. So that's the deal. But check out the links and let me know what you think. All right, this is Glendon. I'll catch you in the next video.